On this channel, I tend to talk a lot about gardening and growing plants and different experiments I'm doing, but today I want to cover something a little different and something that I think is way more important. So throughout the course of a season, or actually even throughout the course of multiple seasons or many seasons, we put a lot of work, a lot of energy, a lot of sweat, whether it's a yard, a pond, a meadow, a garden, a forest, whatever that landscape may be like. And it's important to play your part in that landscape, continuing to work with nature to attain or maintain a sense of balance, but also using that landscape in a mindful way in which we can make it aesthetically pleasing or wild or productive in the case of a garden, right? And so we can do all this, we can get all tunneled into doing that work and not really taking a step back to sit back and enjoy the process, enjoy the surroundings, enjoy the fruits of your labor, you know, being able to look and see and appreciate all the work that you have put into this landscape, and also all the work that nature is doing to leaf out and flower and fruit, and all the beauty and wonder that is wrapped up in all of that. So what I like to do is I like to find a spot in the garden. And this is not necessarily a spot in the garden where I'm going to be growing plants for food, or I'm going to be like maintaining it in a way that, you know, the grass is kept short, or, you know, or the shrubs and small trees aren't getting overgrown, because I kind of want that seclusion. I want my own space, right? And especially for some of us who may live in, you know, maybe in a town or something that might be a little bit more densely populated, for people like me at least, it's really nice to have that space, that isolation, but, you know, the isolation in a good way, and not have so many distractions around me. And so if I have more vegetation and taller vegetation, that helps to block out a lot of those visual man-made distractions. Even living in an area where a lot of people around are using different tools like leaf blowers or lawnmowers, and actually even I'm not too far away from a pretty noisy intersection, having that vegetative buffer actually kind of helps block out a little bit of the noise pollution even, right? So you want to find that spot where you can find your own place. Like if there's a particular spot in the garden where you just really like to enjoy spending your time there, maybe it's where a particular wildflower is blooming, you know, or also some place that offers shade from the sun, especially if you're going to be sitting there for any length of time. So for me personally, it took me a few years to really kind of build this spot, right? For me to be able to find this spot, and also for a lot of the surrounding vegetation that's immediately around the area to kind of grow up and mature in a way that it blocks out a lot of you know, neighbors' yards, houses, traffic, and things of that nature. But now I really like to spend my time there, and I will set up a lawn chair and just find some time to sit. You know, maybe it's in the morning, maybe it's you know, in the middle of the day when it's hot and sunny and I don't feel like doing anything else in the garden, or, you know, in the evening before I go to bed and before the mosquitoes come out, or I may do that multiple times a day too. And it really helps me to put my thoughts in order and think of new ideas for new videos, or just think of new ideas in general for the garden, providing me also with time to just process. Sometimes I can get caught up in the rush and stress of trying to plant a garden and trying to make videos or whatever, and it's really nice to have that buffer, that space, that time that I give myself to just decompress and take a step back. And from that, I'm able to be a little bit calmer, I'm able to think a little bit more clearly, and I'm able to be a little bit more content. And to me, that's a lot more closer to what life is all about. It's not just about the productivity and what food I can produce, but it's really being present in the moment and taking that moment as deep as you can possibly go, filling that space with positive emotions like you know, gratitude, peace, contentment, all these emotions that are so important to add in our lives, but also emotions that are largely lacking in many parts of the world today as well. If a garden can produce not only for our physical needs but also for our mental and emotional needs, it's really turning into a landscape that is feeding us, nurturing us, not just physically but also mentally and emotionally, right? It's more holistic. It's encompassing all of those different aspects. And if what we're seeking is better health, it's not just the physical aspect, but it's also the mental and the emotional, because they all interplay with each other. When we get stressed, right, when we have mental anguish, that leads to physical manifestations, right? Maybe higher cholesterol, higher blood pressure, and all of those different health problems, but also it works the other way as well, where our lack of physical health may also deteriorate our mental and emotional health as well, right? So if we produce healthy food and also produce a space that we can decompress and really spend our own time out there, we're working our way towards better health in all of those different aspects, right? And the cool thing is too, with the way I garden, I have a lot of different wildflowers. I have some other shrubs, and a garden space that has a wide variety of plants. So I'm able to sit back and look at a wide variety of different insects, many of which I don't even know what they are, but just being able to take it all in, to see them, and maybe I will learn what they are eventually, but getting that initial space to really learn more about nature, learn more about the landscape around me, and what this all means and how it all interplays with natural pest control, or pollination of plants, or what specific insects may attack certain plants, and just all these different things. We can learn so much from just observation, provided we allow ourselves the space and time to have that observation. So thank you so much for checking out this video, and I highly encourage you to go out into your garden, your backyard, or whatever your landscape may be, and just to find a place where you can sit. Maybe it's on the ground, maybe it's on a blanket, or on a lawn chair, whatever it may be, right? And just to have that space to reflect, to observe, to process, to relax, right? This is your time. So I look forward to seeing you in a future video. Take care.